Yeah, you can go to a shop and you can buy whatever you want to buy. But isn't it a bit more special when you find something that somebody's made? Somebody's picked up, maybe found this, found a bit of a plate, found it's homemade. There's something about homemade stuff, isn't there, that makes them, all right, not as strong as, but that'll hold pretty much. Once you're in the middle of doing a little job, you need an extra hand. It's great for another little extra hand and a good grip to get across it. Lovely. Doing this bit here out the roof, right? So you grab a bit that you can reach and feel. And I've been getting a bit, and there's a few bits been falling down. Ted, you would have had to. We would have had to use that stretcher that's on the floor there. Stand back because he's coming down with one hand. Oh! Look at that. It's an old start. Is it a truck or a tractor? It's a good old one, isn't it? It's got some age on it. Wow. Ted, that would have took my head off. I could feel there was still something. Not quite. Let's have a look. Let's go up. Ooh. There's still something. No. There's something in the corner. This is guttering. No. Yeah, that's guttering, Ted. It's only because these are good bits of wood. I thought they were going to come off individually. Wow. Look at that. That's a proper. Yeah, it was clipped. Safe enough. It was clipped into this guttery stuff here. It was clipped in there. So it's safe enough. Take some weight, couldn't it? Right. There we have a look, Ted. There we have a look what's in there. It's not going to take my head off, is it? Such a plonker. I've just done this again. Look. It's a head. 4-cylinder head. Carburetor there. Fill the oil here. It's a side valve. It's a head for a side valve engine. You know, the new ones are overhead cam, and then you've got overhead valve, haven't you? Like a Kent engine. This is a head off the right. This is an aluminium head. What's it say there? There's the number on it. Is that the number? What's the marking? What's the marking there? But this is aluminium. It's quite light. But this is a cast head. It's got some age on it. Wow, it's got some age on it. 101p. It's probably a. What do you think, Ted? What did you say? What did you have?
Standard Coventry.
A standard Coventry.
Look at that. This is the interior for it.
Yeah. The carpets, the trim on there. Yeah. Look at this. They've got some age on them, haven't they? Wow. I'm glad I looked ahead first because they were above my head before above them pieces of wood. Figured out. What can you see, Ted? Let's have a look.
Yeah. It's upside down.
All right, okay. Turn that around, yeah. What's it say?
Set tappage to 017.
Oh yeah, set tappage, got it. Set 2, yeah. 017. What's this bottom?
Back off cam. Back off cam.
Yeah. Oh yeah, take it till the valve is properly shut. And it's the play between... yeah, but look, a side valve air cover to do the tappets. It's a side valve. Yeah, the cam doesn't run on top of the engine like all the modern things now. The cam runs down the side of it. That's got some age, that little cover. Somebody's screaming out for that cover somewhere. Ooh, Reggie, we want one of those.
1936.
Oh, wait, was there a date on it? No, there wasn't.
No, but that's what
let's get right close. Let's get as close as we can get in.
This car was.
Yeah, set tappage 2, yeah. Oh, something hot. When hot? When some crank of cam something hot. Bloody hell. In the roof of a garage with those heads. Been there a long time. This is a film for you people that are not tied to a chair and forced to watch Reggie on the road. You know there's one there for 3 hours of doing this room. I'm not very good at making films. I just find them in my phone, bung them all together. Well, I've only just learned how to bung them together. So I'm going to give you a quick sort of evolution of this room, shall we say. When we first moved in here, there was 2 rooms here. I think that was the way then. There was a door here, went in, and there was a door there. So probably within, what, the first year or so, Deb?
Do I look like I'm remotely interested?
She's painting, so she's in a strop.
No, I'm not. You're just
Yeah.
getting my nerves because you get in the way.
She's in a strop. Anyway,
Oh,
so anyway, this is a brick wall. It's not a wooden wall, it's a brick wall. So, thinking about it now, we should have pushed them back a little further. But we weren't very confident. We didn't want the roof to come down. We put a big, it's not a steel girder, but it's one of them, catnick is it? Yeah, it's like a box section type tin thing, whatever was the fashion then anyway. So we're probably now a bit more confident you'd push that right to the top, wouldn't you? And you'd bring these back out. A lot of them are doing that. A lot of them in the street are taking out the chimneys. Anyway, so it was 2 rooms, and that was the living room. This is the dining room. That's the way they are always. And look, I found this. This is what was here originally. Do you see how it's set back slightly? What are they, French doors? Yeah, because behind that plank of wood is another set of windows. So I think that's called a French door. Anyway, pretty much a couple of years later, if you see the other film, you'll see we had these ones that were in 2 sled across, which was quite nice. But you had one that was fixed, and the draft used to come down in the winter, blow a draft down here. I don't know whether it wore away or, but anyway. Oh, and of course, remember, we hadn't pushed it out by then, had we? It was about here. It was around about here somewhere. Would have been there somewhere. Would have been sort of here somewhere where it was, because it was set back. As you can see, we put sliding patio doors in it, but it was still set back there. Anyway, so a couple of years go by, quite a few years go by actually, and then we decide, right, Debbie says, because we'd seen these bifold, great things, bifolds, so right, we're going to have a set of bifolds. Then I said, well, if we're having a set of bifolds, I want this damn floor doing, because the floor was a wooden floor, and at one point it had flooded. They have a vent, don't they? And the garden had flooded. It was a really particularly bad wet winter, and it was our turn to get drowned upon, you know, and it had come in and it was underneath. So anyway, the man had come, he sprayed chemicals underneath with the insurance, and that was fixed, but it was still a wooden floor, and there was still this, there was an unevenness to this, this joint always was. And as the years went by and we were using it more and more, you could stand here and you could rock the floor. The floor was moving. Or you could stand here and you could do this, and you could hear this cupboard creaking. You could, it moves. So I said to Debbie, if we're replacing that, for the effort and the work, we'll have the floor out. So anyway, that film, that 3-hour film shows you, we ripped the floor up, took the whole thing out, and we got some more stuff. We sold the skip people, said, right, we want brick rubble. You bring us brick rubble and we'll give you back this stuff, the wood and all that. Fine. So he brought us some pretty good stuff actually. So we filled it, didn't we? And then we put the gravel and the sand and whatever, and we leveled it. And then we whacked it, didn't we? That was in the film. And then we put insulation stuff, floor insulation stuff. They didn't have at the time, because it was around about the COVID time, we didn't have the big thick stuff which we were going to put in. So we had to put 2 layers of the thinner stuff, which equaled the thick stuff. I can't remember how many inches. Was it 6 or however many inches you got to put in? So we did that. Now with the floor and the levels, we knew we were taking the skirtings, and at one point it was a bit high. I said, forget that, we're not going to bring it down, we're going to... So we put the floor wherever it landed, which was pretty close to where it originally was anyway. That wasn't a huge... And we've got the headspace to put it anyway, so we put the floor in. So the floor pretty much landed where it landed. And then we put the skirtings, and then of course as a guidance we left the skirtings in. So then we ripped out the skirtings, filled in the gap and put the skirtings back in. Now you'll see in the film how the hell the house stays up. There's no footings, it's just down to dirt. These old houses, this is over 100 years old, this house is, and there was hardly any mortar in the mixes, so did all that sort of a thing. Now the fireplace was there's a story to this. We had one of those, fire things in there where there's a bulb and the bulb warms up and it sends a thing around and makes it look sort of nice. Really old-fashioned fireplace in there. And it had a proper fireplace around, and the hearth came out a slight bit. And I wanted to get rid of that. So originally, I wanted to put a television set in here. We'll do that whilst we're waiting. So I originally wanted to put a TV in there. I said to Debbie, let's get rid of the fireplace and let's sink a television in there. Let's sink a television in there. Anyway, now if you haven't been to a fire shop recently, let me tell you, you'll be shocked. We were expecting to go to the fireplace shop and maybe find a bar fire. Remember the old bar fires, and maybe a more modern version of a bulb and a thing going round. We didn't realise that, and this is like a bog standard thing. We didn't realise that the modern version of electric fires are absolutely amazing. Never thought that such a place or such a thing ever existed. So we discovered this, and whilst we were there, we also discovered that you can get a nice log above your fire, which is plastic. It's not wood, it's fake, but it looks like wood, doesn't it? And it's pretty easy to fit. So we hacked the plaster off. This chimney, the original, and we found the original chimney that had an arch in it. This chimney has been messed with over the years. We've knocked it and changed it. It had previously been done, and it was even previously been done before that. I think we found a boiler in the back of this one. One of them we found a boiler. The old back of the fire boiler. Anyway, insulated it and fixed it and put that in. Let me just find something for you. Oh, right, I'll find one. I'll find it later. Anyway, so that was a bit of a unexpected expense. Didn't realise that these existed, but now we found them. Fantastic. You can get some fantastic modern fires. So now we've done the floor and we've done here, and when we attacked, this chimney was all flat and it was a bit, so we thought, right, we'll have that out as well then. And so we hacked this off and we found this hole. This is more of what the original size of it was when they built it. then they seem to put another one underneath in this one. And again, dug it all out. It created that space. So this basically is the space that it was when it was originally built. That's the original size of the chimney in the house. But somebody obviously over the years has altered it and whatever. And as you can see, the house is set back a bit. So our good friend Lance said, it's a bit of a shame to not make it level. So whilst we were here, we decided to extend. We've got the smallest extension you could ever have. Our extension is from there to there. We brought it out and made it flush, which then we did the roof, and we did this. Now this kitchen extension was done before we came here. So this is the corner of the house is up here somewhere. So I guess these are big steel beams going this way, and probably still the roof is very, so the corner of the house is here, and the gutter of this, we've never been brave enough. This is wall, this is the outside existing bit of the wall, and this is an extension part of the kitchen, but we've never been brave enough to look behind there. But the sewerage pipe is down there that comes from upstairs. Yeah, I can't wait for to come and have, because he's more of a builder explanation thing, and what's hiding behind this corner, we don't really know. We just did what we did to it, fill it back and hide it again behind the wall. It's amazing what you can hide behind plaster and plasterboard and all that, you know. But yeah, we did. That's basically the whole story of this room, and we're really pleased. Except when they first came, that door was over here. There was a bit of a cock up, so we had to get it rechanged, you know, pay for it and get rechanged, come to an agreement. We paid for it and the man fitted it for free. Yeah, that's what we settled on that. And we've got these blind things within them, and we're really pleased with it. Really pleased with it. Yeah. So that's the short. If ever Reggie can ever make a short story of this room.
He loves to talk.
Yeah, I love to talk. Yeah, and you what?
I'll do the work and he does the talking.
No, I love to talk and she loves to paint.
Mm.
This is that new paint she bought. It's darker. See, this is this green, but that's a.
Oh, shut up.
It's a darker green. Shut
more
up.
Modern.
Oh, yeah, what?
Jeez, it's more modern.
What? So that shade of green is more modern than this shade of green?
Yeah.
Stop taking the pills.
That's the colour I wanted anyway. I didn't want it green.
And it's due another coat, so if it sort of looks patchy on the camera, it's because it's sort of half drying. Anyway, yeah, it's my fault. She's in a strop. Do you want to know why she's in a strop? Because I'm breathing in and out. That's why she's in a strop.
No, because I'm working and you're talking. Drives you mad.
Yeah, it drives her mad. Oh, see, originally I wanted to just connect a screen with and bury the screen flush in front of there and just use that as a fireplace, and then go on the internet or on the YouTube. I mean, you can go on the YouTube and you can have any type of fire. So that was my first original idea, was to put a TV screen in here. But anyway, we found this, and that's just as good. And now we've got the TV, we can put it there if we want to. Yeah. So, we were thinking about turning it into a media wall and putting the telly up there, but it doesn't quite work. And Deb's dad made that unit for us to fit in that corner, and Deb's dad has sadly passed away now, so that's never going to go anywhere else, and that belongs in that corner. So we're never gonna change that corner, you know, now that unit's there. But I hope that enlightens you. I hope that encourages you to go and watch. And I didn't believe it took that long. My 3-hour filming clips of this. So you know, when Strictly Come Dancing comes on a Saturday night and you don't know what to watch, or if you're feeling very unrestless and you want to fall asleep, you can go and have a look at that 3-hour film of doing this room, can't you? That'll soon put you to sleep, won't it? And I forgot to tell you, we do intend, well, I do want a fire here, because if the electric and the heating went off, for whatever reason, doesn't matter why, but if it came to a situation where a digger broke through the pipe and it was the weekend and you had no heating in your house, an enclosed wooden log fire would be, I think, fantastic there. Just open up that chimney. So it sits there and it's only like for emergencies, or if Christmas you're off for a week, it would be a cheaper way of keeping everything warmer, you know what I mean?
The smoke was down.
You know, in the winter, or you know, if you snowed in or something, it would be useful if you needed it. Meantime, I think it would look quite nice there. Actually, I think it would look better if we had a shelf and maybe a hand drill or something like this. You know, a bench drill or something like that in there. But that'll never happen. You know that, don't you? So yeah. Well, and meanwhile, in the very front of here, I've put a picture. The Charlie likes, I don't know if it's the security of it, but Charlie likes to sit in there and go to sleep. Yeah, especially if we're watching telly and there's a bit of a loud television sound on. You'll find him come here and he'll go to sleep here. We're really pleased with the bifolds, really. It's made such a difference. You know, in the nice weather, I mean, we don't get nice weather often, but for the 3 months in the summer that we get, it was well worth having these bifolds. Lovely space. Plus, they shut a lot better. The old ones, they just went past each other. Now, it is going to be interesting to see. Hold on. Let's shut this. It is going to be interesting to see how robust these seals are. Let me grab that door. It's going to be very interesting to see how robust these door seals are, and are they replaceable, or in 20 years are these going to be shot? I don't know. But you see how we leveled up the front. We I think it was lancet, because they were set back, weren't we? And we little bit of a roof here, so it leveled up the back and made it like a lot more pleasing, and the sun gets in better rather than they were set back a little bit. So yeah. Are you coming in, Charlie? Are you stopping out? What are you doing? Stopping out, okay. Yeah, it's going to be much more in the winter when it's blowing and it's freezing. And of course, yeah, we've put the.
It's always handy having a very handy wife.
I'm putting the handy. Why? What do you mean the handy wife? What?
A handy wife that does the decorating.
My dad was a builder, you know. Did you know? Did she ever tell you? Her dad's a builder, you know. Your dad was a builder. You know, she's a builder's daughter. I don't know if she ever told you. What was your dad, Deb? Dad was a builder, yeah. No. So she was brought up with fixing and making and mending, and this is our third house, yeah, that we've trashed.
This is what happens when you get older, though.
Oh yeah, but we hadn't moved in here long, and we did all the windows. I think, how did the windows come about? Didn't a tick, we were paying a tick, weren't we? It was something like 90 quid a month or something, the tick was. And we'd paid for something. I think, if I remember right, we'd paid for a bike. So the tick came to an end, so that freed up 90 quid a month or whatever it was. So the first lot of windows were done. And this is the second lot. The first lot lasted 20 years. And they would have been all right. They weren't rotten, but they weren't cracked, but they were misting up. The seals had gone on them or whatever it was. So we redid them again. So we're quite pleased. We are fans of plastic windows. Whenever you're budgeting or when you're changing a house, if we bought another one and it had old wooden windows or whatever, first thing we'd be doing is ripping them out and putting plastic windows in. They make such a difference. Double glazed, and these are extra thick ones in the front. Because the road is there, we opted for the wider ones. You can have triple glazing now, and that'll help things even more. But it doesn't half shut that road up a lot. Yeah. The modern stuff is amazing. So yeah, that's about the evolution of this house. This, this room. And like I say, this is the third house we've sort of bought and trashed, and you move forward, don't you? You sell a thing, you do it up, you make a profit, then you buy the next one, you work on it, get rid of that, and move in again, yeah. And we might have one more move within us, maybe. Obviously, if the numbers work, we might have one more attempt at buying a knackered house and redoing it. It's not as hard as you think. It is hard and it's inconvenient and it's filthy and it's dirty, but it's not really. Once you put your mind to it, once you do your sums and be prepared to go way over budget, this room went way over because we changed the rags and we did everything else. So it did push the budget to 50% again on what we'd planned. But, sometimes you've just got to do it, haven't you? And in our particular case, obviously they must be different, but there was a fireplace and a hearth underneath here, and we didn't originally pull it out, and we concrete the floor, and then I decided, right, I want to see what's in there, because this job had been done. This was a concrete floor, so we dug that out deep, again, following the walls down to the footings. So we dug this down to the footings, put the bottom in it, then put the insulation in it, and blah, 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 and topped it up again. But the original fires are built here and then sort of built out, and then the wood, and there was a damp patch here for whatever reason, and it's cured it now, whether it was coming from down the chimney or whether it was just purely coming from under the floor. But yeah, next time, if we do it again, we rip a floor up, we will be ripping the fireplace back as well. Because it didn't affect, it took me a while to discover it doesn't affect in this particular case, the walls of the house go straight down, and they put a fire on top of there. So yeah, it was quite interesting. I'm really pleased we did it. I mean, it's a warmer. You used to get a draft and you never knew where the draft was coming from. Is there a window open? And until you've ripped up your floor, you really don't realise where the drafts are coming from. And we used to sometimes get a slug problem, didn't we? We expected, when we dug the floor up, we expected to find a big nest of slugs. But we didn't find any slugs at all. But we were getting, you come in the morning, you see a trail. You'd see a trail. And occasionally, if you came out in the middle of the night, there'd be a huge big slug in the middle of your room. We never knew where they were coming from. But the concrete floor has cured it. Now, whether they were getting in from the outside, coming through the vents and making their way up, we don't know. But of course, all the sides, it's all concrete and solid up to the top now. They can't come through the floor. But we did have occasionally, I guess when it was slug season, we did have slug trails, and we did have the odd slug that we'd catch and we'd pick it up, put it in the bin, or pick it up and throw it across the road. Yeah, quite big as your finger, would be coming along here and leaving a trail. So if you've got slugs, or have you ever suffered from that you come in the morning and you see a slug trail, but you can't find the slug and you don't know where it is? But if you come down in the night for a glass of water or something, you put the light on and there he is in the middle of the garden. Okay. And I forgot to say, yeah, you recognise these windows? Remember when they were doing the windows and I asked them to keep them? No, I said, I'll make a greenhouse for Debbie. Yeah, you won't make a greenhouse for Debbie. Yeah, I'll make a greenhouse for Debbie. Anyway, it turns out that they did get reused again because, as it turns out, we made a greenhouse for Debbie out of the old ones, because it doesn't matter if they messed up. I think we've got one cracked pane. So yeah, the original windows and glass is still going, but it's going in the form of Debbie's greenhouse, isn't it? So this little review is for Rob, Weekend Shedhead. So when it's my turn to be interviewed about the shed, this will be one less job that'll make his film a little shorter, but this will be one less job that Rob will have to include in his film. Or it would be never ending if Rob was to come and ask us about the room. So we're saving him the time and the aggravation of asking questions about the room. So yeah, we're sitting here waiting for Rob to waiting for our turn, so that Rob from Weekend Shedhead can come and give us a review of the garage.